Hey guys, this video we're going to take a look at odds. The odds in favor or odds against something happening. So odds against an event is the ratio of the probability that of it failing to the probability that it succeeds. So you just look at the ratio, failure over probability of failure over the probability of success. You can also look at it as the number of failures over the number of successes. That would be the odds against something happening. To find the odds against rolling a 6 on a die, so we have to look at the odds of rolling a 6 and the odds of not rolling a 6. So the probability of getting a 6 would be 1 out of 6. Only one of those 6 sides is a 6. And probability of not getting a 6 would be the other sides, the other 5 sides out of 6. So to find the odds against the event, we put the odds of failure over the odds of success. So we do failure over success for odds against. So failure would be not odds against rolling a 6. So failure would be not getting a 6 over getting a 6. So not getting a 6 would be 5 out of 6. I'll give you a little shortcut here in a second. Over 1 over 6. Now since these are both over 6, anytime these denominators match, you can just skip right over them. You don't need them at all. So it's a 5 to 1 odds against getting a 6. I should have wrote over success here. Now 5 to 1, another way of writing that, sometimes you write ratios with the colon, 5 to 1, or as a fraction, 5 over 1. Either way is okay. Alright, find the odds against rolling a number less than 3. So we need the probability of number less than 3 and a probability not less than 3. So less than 3 would be 1 and 2. Again, we're talking about a dice on a single die. And then the probability of not less than 3, that would be the number 3, 4, 5, and 6. That'd be 4 out of 6. So we could reduce these. 2 over 6 would be 1/3. 4 over 6 would be 2/3. Either way is going to be fine. So the odds against rolling a number less than 3 would be failure over success. Failure would be, so we're looking at a number less than 3, so failure would be not less than 3, so that would be 2/3. And again, these, remember I said these denominators match, so you can just ignore them as a shortcut. And then a success would be the 1 out of 3, so that's a 2 to 1 odds against rolling a 3. $1 million tickets are sold for a lottery in which a single prize will be awarded. If you purchase a ticket, determine your odds against winning. So we need the probability of a fail over the probability of a win. So this isn't like your typical like Powerball lottery or whatever. This is just like they're going to draw out a single winner is what they're talking about. So they're selling 1 million tickets. You purchased a ticket. So the probability of winning, there's only one way for you to win, 1 out of 1 million. But the probability that you lose would be 999,999 ways to fail. So it's 999,999 to 1 that you're going to fail. That you will not win. If you purchase 10 tickets, so now you've got 10 ways to win. And failure now would be only if the other 999,990 people win. So those zeros can cancel out, so it would be a 99999 to 1 when we cancel out those zeros. So odds in favor, those were all odds against. Odds in favor would just be the reciprocal of it. You just do successes on top. Really, really similar. Going to be super easy. So find the odds in favor of rolling an even number on a die. So probability of getting an even would be 2, 4, 6. So that's 3 out of 6. Probability of not getting an even, that would be an odd, like 1, 3, and 5, which is also 3 out of 6. So we do the odds in favor, which we just said is success over failure. So we're looking at a success, which would be the probability of an even. And again, these denominators match. You can even reduce it, like we talked about before, to 1/2 and 1/2. And again, the denominators still match, so we can just ignore them. Even would be a 1, and then we look at success over failure for in favor. A failure would be a not even or an odd, which we reduce that to be 1 as well. So it's 1 to 1 odds in favor of rolling an even, which just means it's even odds. The odds are, that's a weird statement, even odds. The odds are equal odds. Would be another way of saying that. Equal chances, equal odds. So given the odds, we can also work backwards and find the success and failure probabilities. If the odds against are 8 to 3, then we can look at adding up those numbers will tell us how many total possibilities there are. Adding up the numbers will give us the total possibilities. So 8 plus 3 for the denominator gives us our total possibilities. And then odds against, remember that's failure over success. So probability of a success, we would take the 3. And then the denominator is just adding those two numbers together. And then from your calculator, you get that that's 0.27. It'd actually be 0.27272727, and so on. For the probability of a failure, you would do the same thing. Just remember failure is that first number, denominator you add. And again, this would repeat 73, 73, 73. Anytime your denominator is 11, that's going to have that pattern. If you notice, 3 times 9 is 27, 8 times 9 is 73. That should be 72. Sorry, my bad. That was rounded because that was 72, because 8 times 9 is 72. And it was just rounded to 73. So, just a little 11's trick for you. A little bonus. All right, the odds in favor of you winning a scholarship. Favor of you winning is 7 to 4. So, in favor would look at odds in favor is success over failure. So success is first in favor. So it's kind of like whatever they say in favor means favorable would be a success, which means success goes first. Against would be failure goes first. That's the only thing you got to keep track of. So it's in favor of winning. So 7 would be a success. That would be winning. Over 7 plus 4. That'd be 11. And then if we apply that trick I was just talking about, since it's 11 for the denominator, 9 times 7 is 63. So it's going to be 0.63, 63, 63, and so on. Then odds that you don't win, so that would be failure. So that would be 4 over 7 plus 4 is 11. Same trick, 9 times 4 is 36. And if you add those numbers up, you do get 1, which is always going to happen as well. If the probability that a An identified hurricane will make a direct hit on a certain stretch of beach. It's 0.04 or 4%. What are the odds against a direct hit? So the first thing we're going to get from this is 4.04 means 4 out of 100. And again, that's the probability of a hit. 4 out of 100, we can reduce that, divide by 4, we get 1 over 25. So the probability of being a hit would be 1 out of 25, which means the probability of not being a hit would be 24 out of 25. It'd be the rest of it, because those probabilities are going to add to be 1. So what are the odds against? So whenever we're talking against, when we're talking for, it's success first. When we're talking against, it's failure first. So just remember, against is like, it's like a negative word, just like failure. So when it's against, it's failure first. So failure would be not a direct hit, so it's going to be 24 for not a hit because the denominators match. And then success would be a direct hit, so it's 24 to 1 odds against a direct hit. All right, that's it. Go ahead, find your homework in the Files tab, get it submitted to Student View, post any questions or email me with any questions, and I will see you next time.